What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, I ran across this the audio from the Jason Whitlock show, right? And Jason Whitlock, I was just going to make a video about this same topic. And so what's this? Let me see. Dejanay Carrington is why LeBron James won't let me see. Let me see if I can get. While LeBron James claimed he won't allow his daughter to play professional basketball, right? Um, and I was just going to make this, and so I'm going to play the audio from what Jason Whitlock said, right? And I want to give my thoughts because I also spoke about this same topic with a friend of mine, and his daughter plays basketball, right? And he said that given a chance, if he had the opportunity to do it all over again, he wouldn't encourage his daughter to play sports, right? And he went on to, for several reasons. And I would even take it a little bit further. I don't even because of how sports are today. Sports used to be where as though you could teach life lessons through sports, loyalty, um, how teach a kid how to be unselfish, teamwork, different life lessons that you used to be able to learn and instill in kids through sports. But it's not like that now. Sports now is more so about me. Nothing about loyalty, and not a lot about teamwork like it used to be. It's more so everybody wants to be Batman. Nobody wants to be Robin on these teams anymore, right? And so now it's just different, right? And so let me play what Jason Whitlock had to say, and I want to add my input to this audio, right? I'm gonna stop it from time to time just so I can add my input. But I think Jason Whitlock make a lot of good points. And before we play that, I always thought to myself, why do some of these professional athletes send their kids into to basketball, baseball, football, because the sports are changed. They're not like they used to be.
Dejanay Carrington and Sophie Cunningham should be basketball besties. The Venus and Serena Williams of the WNBA. Two knockouts with deadly jump shots. Instead, they're Cain and Abel. It makes no sense. Look at where they started. Dejanay Carrington, Stanford, 2019. Her Stanford bio video shows a young woman who is, without exaggeration, a father's dream.
My mom and dad met at Northern Arizona University in college, and my dad played football and my mom ran track. And so they were both on collegiate scholarships. And then my dad went on to play in the NFL for 8 seasons. And my sister played basketball in college, and she played at University of New Orleans. My brother played at the University of Oregon and University of Utah. And when I was in high school, my mom was actually my head coach. My dad was her associate head coach, and my sister was one of the assistant coaches. It was a really fun dynamic and a really cool experience just to have my family surrounding me. When I was in, I want to say second.
Let me stop it right there, right? Because that goes to my first point. Dejanay Carrington parents both were heavily involved in sports. So father played professionally for years, right? And so he's thinking as a father, the same lessons he learned as a young athlete, he want to pass those on to his daughters, right? He want to pass those on to his sons. But for some reason, sports today is not like it was when he was playing or when his wife was playing. I think she was on the track team, but she also was a college athlete, right? It's just not the same. It's just not the same. So I'm looking at this video of Dejanay Carrington play, and go watch Jason Whitlock's video, right? Because the difference between Dejanay Carrington when she was at Stanford in college and what you see now in the WNBA, you would not even recognize her. It's like two different people.
In 4th grade, I played football. I just wanted to be like my brother and sister. And so they were like, "Are you sure you want to play football?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "Okay, like give it a try." And so the first year I had to play flag just to make sure I really wanted to do this. And then my next 2 years I played tackle. It doesn't matter what other people think. If it's something that I want to do, then I can do it. And a lot of people probably questioned my parents for allowing me to play football, because typically I guess football is not a girl sport. But they allowed me to do that and to explore whatever I wanted to explore. And I think that now on the court and in life, I'm going to be able to take those tools and just explore with no limits.
Her dad, Darren Carrington, played 8 years in the NFL and is a minister in San Diego. Her mom and dad met playing college sports at Northern Arizona. Her whole family, mom, dad, and sister, coached Dejanay growing up. Dejanay played tackle football as a little girl, and her parents encouraged it. 2 torn ACLs, and she talks about what those injuries revealed about her character, her discipline, and her faith.
Right. And so those, you can imagine, like, as parents, when you're developing the character, the discipline, and the faith, and you think you're doing the right thing and you're doing it through sports, man, you know, parents, you can see why parents would encourage and push their kids into sports. But at some point in time, that all changed. And now in today's sports, and you see it in the WNBA and you see it in the NBA, those characteristics, you don't find those being pushed as much as you did back in the day.
She wants to be a forensic psychologist. She talks about faith, family, being a role model for young girls. That's the young woman Stanford put on film. Amazing. Let's go to Sophie Cunningham's story. And it reads almost identically. Her mom and dad, Jim and Paula Cunningham, were both athletes at Missouri. Her grandfather played there. Her aunt and uncle played there. Sophie kicked on her high school football team. Her sister played basketball with her at Mizzou. 2-parent, multi-generation athletic family, same as Carrington's. Both strikingly attractive coming out of high school and college. Both call themselves Christians. Same blood, same house, same ground. Cain and Abel started there too. But Stanford, in a transfer year at Baylor, put something else into Dejanay Carrington besides discipline. That campus, Stanford, is one of the most far-left institutions in this country, and she spent 4 years marinating in it before the WNBA ever got its hands on her. The league didn't create the ideology. Stanford planted the seed. The league just watered it down and put it on national television. I covered Missouri's athletic programs for nearly 2 decades at the Kansas City Star. Mizzou is liberal, like every college campus on this country. But you can still be a conservative there. It doesn't demand conformity the way Stanford does. That's not a small difference. That's the difference standing in front of you right now. Now, let's go look at these.
All right. Let me say this, though, about the comparison between Stanford and Mizzou, right? And the effect that they have on your kid. Remember, like Dejanay Carrington came from a good family. So, and she did spend 4 years at Stanford. But I don't think that the 4 years that she spent at Stanford could outweigh what the influence that her parents had on her, especially she coming from she coming from 2 good parents, and then she had, siblings around her. So it would seem like that would be the stronger influence, you know what I mean? Like your peers, your sisters and your brothers. And then you have the your parents who would be an even stronger influence. So I don't think that, even if what he says about Stanford, like they demand conformity, I don't think that 4 years that she spent there can really outweigh. I think it's a society type thing when it comes to, because like I said, I know kids and have seen kids who have gone to smaller schools, liberal schools like Mizzou, around the country, and they, you know, they don't have the and they still go through the same things. So it's I think it's just like it's just a me first now generation, and everything that these kids learn, or or in the direction that they get from their parents, it just goes out the window once they get out there in the real world and they start doing, they start living the way that everybody else is living. They may feel like that they have to conform in order to compete. So that, I wouldn't want to blame that on a college, and I'm not a fan of, I never went to Stanford or Missouri, but I just think that it's a thing that's society wide, not just depending on what school that you go to. So let me get back to some more of what, because this do tie into LeBron James, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to play the whole video, but just take, like I said, LeBron James, because of what he see in sports today, he made the statement that he don't want to see his daughter play basketball or be in the WNBA, right? And like I said earlier in this video, I know some people who had their daughters play basketball, and they would agree that, number one, even at the best, like how much money really is in the WNBA for you to invest the years and years that these young ladies invest into making it into the WNBA, even under the best of circumstances. Like most kids that invest that kind of time won't even make it to the WNBA. I think the WNBA, how many teams they have? Like, I don't know, about 13, 16 teams, something like that now. And so they have like 140 something players in the WNBA. Then you have millions of young ladies around the world who want to be like Asia Wilson, who want to be like Caitlin Clark or Olivia Miles. It's really not worth it, in my opinion. Then when you get there, the money is not worth it. So unless you play for like the love of the game, then I guess it's worth the investment, the time, and the money that goes into becoming a WNBA player. But to me, it's not worth it. It's so far back in the video where he spoke about LeBron James, and it's just a short statement that LeBron James made about not wanting his daughter to play in a WNBA. And I would even take it a step further and say that, I wouldn't even encourage my kids, my son to play sports anymore, because sports has just changed. The lessons that they learn, you can instill those lessons as a good parent yourself. Then the investment that it takes into going to being a professional athlete, it's a long shot. And even if I play professional sports, like I said, I don't even see why guys who play professional basketball, why they push their sons to do it. But it is what it is. And so LeBron James did say he encouraging his daughter to play volleyball. Is that volleyball? I think he said I think it's volleyball. Right, college volleyball, instead of playing basketball. That's what he wants for her. But I think that in any sport nowadays, it's not that like basketball is bad, or and volleyball is good. I just think playing sports today is just not the way it was back when we were growing up. They instill certain characteristics, good characteristics in these kids, encourage these good characteristics. But nowadays, it's just not like that. So any sport right now, I'm thinking is, I wouldn't encourage and when I read the comments, people saying it's all about education. Encourage your kids to get a good education. If they want to play a sport for a hobby, that's cool. But I wouldn't invest so much time and money into getting a kid into sports like that. I just wouldn't. Not now, that I've seen what's going on in sports today. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. I'm going to check y'all out in the next video. Peace.